How's it going? So I guess DC just dropped this. This is basically James Gunn talking about what's gonna happen with the DCEU now going forward. Obviously, a lot of changes. He, got rid of a bunch of characters, like Henry Cavill and stuff like that, or actors and things like that. He's going in a whole new direction. So let's see what it is. I have not watched this, so I'll give you my reactions as it's happening.
Hey everybody, I'm James Gunn. I'm the co-CEO of DC Studios. So as many of you know, DC has been disconnected in film and television
That is true. It has been very disconnected. They're not even close to the same at all.
for a long time. And it's one of, our jobs, mine and Peter's, is to come in and make sure the DCU is connected.
Yeah, so I guess what they're trying to do is kind of, make things a little more connected, which I like. I kind of like that about Marvel, how everything is connected. So
Film, television, gaming, and animation. That the characters are consistent, played by the same actors, and it works within one story. And if something is outside of that, like Matt Reeves' Batman or Todd Phillips' Joker or Teen Titans Go, that it is clearly labeled as DC Elseworlds, outside of the mainstream DCU continuity. Now, Peter and I have gotten pretty lucky in terms of the 4 projects that are coming out over the next year. First, we have Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Shazam has always been off kind of in his own part of the DCU, so he connects very well. That moves directly into The Flash, a fantastic movie that
okay, so from what I'm gathering here is Shazam is part of his DCEU.
I really love. That resets the entire DCU.
Okay, so
then
it's
to move into Blue Beetle, a fantastic film about a kid who's a marvelous part of the DCU, and then into Aquaman 2, which leads directly into our next few projects, which I'm going to tell you about now. So Peter and I, along with a group.
okay. So he has Flashpoint that leads into his DCEU, or is it still the old one? I'm a little confused.
Very talented writers have started to map out an 8 to 10 year plan of what DC Studios will be in film, television, and game. This first chapter is called Gods and Monsters. Now, this, what I'm about to tell you, is a part of the first chapter. It's not the entire first chapter. The first project is Creature Commandos. Creature Commandos is an animated series. I've written all the episodes. Something we're going to do that's a little bit different at DC is we're going to have characters move into animation, out of animation, usually having the same actor play their voice as who plays them in live action.
Okay, that's interesting. I mean, the concept art looks cool. So if it's close to that, could be cool. I'm assuming, I don't really know much about this, but it could be interesting.
Up is Waller. This is a story of Amanda Waller, played by Viola Davis. Viola Davis is going to team up with members of Team Peacemaker, and this is a story that's been created by Crystal Henry, who did Watchmen, and Jeremy Carver, who created the Doom Patrol. It is a fantastic story.
So they're going to do a Waller live action TV show. So played by Viola Davis, who is the current DCEU, actress. So does that mean why can't Henry Cavill still be Superman? I don't know. That doesn't make any sense because if they're having Viola Davis, that's weird.
Story that's out of this world, and I can't wait for people to see it. Okay, next up is a big one, the true beginning of the DCU. This is called Superman Legacy. This is being written by me. I'm in the middle of it. I'm having a great time doing it, and Superman will be released into theaters July 11th, 2025. Okay, the next thing is a big...
Okay, so there's been lots of speculation of people thinking that James Gunn's going to do like this. He's known for the weird stuff, right? He did Suicide Squad, Guardians, Peacemaker TV show, which I actually think is really good. And so people were afraid he was just going to come out with like the first movie comes out with as like a Plastic Man. But I think a lot of people have said, and I think this obviously it's true, is he needs to get the foundation right. Like you can't build a house without a good foundation. And foundation is the big 3, the Trinity, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. So he's going with Superman, which is good.
Premiere HBO television series called Lanterns. This is a story of a couple of Green Lanterns, Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan.
Oh,
and
awesome.
we have a few other lanterns peppered in there, but this is really a terrestrial-based TV show, which is almost like True Detective with a couple of Green Lanterns who are space cops watching over Precinct Earth. In it, they discover a terrifying mystery that ties into our larger story of the DCU. Next is a big movie.
Okay. I do like that. A live-action Green Lantern, which I think Green Lantern definitely needs to be more of a TV show versus a movie. I think there's just too much going on. To have like an hour and a half, 2-hour movie to really kind of encompass everything. So that's cool. I definitely like Hal Jordan, so that's awesome.
be called The Authority. The Authority is a passion project of mine. It's based on the marvelous Wildstorm characters we are now bringing into the DCU and will interact with all of our primary DCU characters. The Authority are a group of superheroes who think the world is broken and they want to fix it by any means necessary. I think it's a very different look at
That's cool.
superheroes. We're doing a television series called Paradise Lost. Paradise Lost is a story of Paradise Island, usually known as Themyscira, which is the birthplace of Wonder Woman. It's almost like Game of Thrones with Westeros, but with all of the inhabitants of Paradise Island. The introduction of the DCU's Batman is The Brave and the Bold. The Brave and the Bold is the story of Batman and his actual son, Damian Wayne. This is based on Grant Morrison's great comic book run. Damian Wayne is my favorite Robin. He's a little assassin who Batman tries to get in line, and so this is the story of the two of them and the beginning of sort of the Bat family in the DCU. Next.
Okay, so he's doing a Batman movie, right? He said that movie, right? Was it movie? Yep, film. Brave and Bold. Batman movie with Damian Wayans. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of, like, I think a Kid Robin works in a comic book and, animated cartoon. It's just not believable when it's live action. So Damian Wayans is what? I don't know. Young teenager, it's just, especially since he doesn't have superpowers. At least if he had superpowers, you can it's like Spider-Man or something like that. You can kind of see like, hey, Spider-Man's super strong, durable, all that kind of stuff. So it kind of makes sense. It's just, I just don't believe like a 14, 15, 16-year-old is going around beating up massive henchmen. Even if he is a trained assassin, it just, I don't know. I think that's kind of, I don't know, live action. It just doesn't, to me, I haven't seen it. And it's like reading the comics is one thing because it's just different. Like when you see live action, like you now see like an actual human. You don't see, drawings on a panel. I don't know.
Tries to get in line, and so this is the story of the two of them and the beginning of sort of the Bat family in the DCU. Next up is a TV series called Booster Gold. Booster Gold is one of comics' really popular cult heroes. He is a fascinating guy. He's a loser from the future who uses future technology to come back to present day and become a superhero so that people will love him. It is basically the superhero story of imposter syndrome on an HBO Max series. One of my favorite comic book series from last year was Tom King's run on Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. And so we're going to turn that into a big science fiction epic film. Now, Superman is a guy who was sent to Earth and raised by loving parents, where Supergirl in this story, she is a character who was raised on a chunk of Krypton. She watched everybody around her perish in some terrible way, so she's a much more jaded character. And that brings me to Swamp Thing.
Oh boy, Swamp
Thing.
Thing.
Talk about a very dark horror story in the origins of the monster who is Swamp Thing. And although it's totally outside of the rest of the DCU, it will still feed into the rest of the stories. Anyway, those are the stories that I can tell you about right now.
Was that a
Outside
movie?
of the rest of the DCU,
Film. Oh, yeah, that's good.
Into the rest of the stories. Anyway, those are the stories that I can tell you about right now. I've loved the DC characters since I was a child. They're incredibly important to me. I knew that this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do something very different. One of the things that's very important for me in all of these movies and TV series is that the director's vision and the vision of the writers and all of the creators is unique and something special. Storytelling is always king. That's all that matters to us. And I want to be true to those stories. I want to be true to you guys and really give you something different than you've ever seen before. Anyway, thank you, everybody. I appreciate you watching. I hope this was exciting for you because it's really exciting for me. And I can't wait to start to dive into these stories with you guys on this grand adventure. Thank you so much.
Okay, so cool. We got a Green Lantern TV, the stuff I'm excited about. Green Lantern TV show, Superman movie. I don't know. I mean, we do have the Matt Reeves Batman, which even then I didn't really like that much, to be honest. And then we got, whatever the other, now we got this more, I guess, cartoony version of Batman. So it's like we got this really, really dark, trying super realistic Batman, and then we got the cartoony one, which will be the Brave and the Bold. At least I think so, because, I mean, however old this kid's gonna be. I hope they age him up. They have to age him up. Like, make him like at least 18 or something. I'd feel better. I feel better if it was Nightwing, like, mid-20s. I hope they age him up. I think it's just gonna look really stupid, and to the comic book fans, they'll be excited. But the reality is, no one outside of comics really know who Damian Wayans is. So, like, your average viewer, they know who Batman is, they know who Robin is, but the Robins that they've got introduced to have all been adults. So, what was it? Batman and Robin was played by, what's his name, Chris O'Donnell or something like that, and he was like 30. So, it was never like a kid. So most people are, I don't know, I think a lot of people are not going to accept it, and they probably think it's a little lame. So, but the Green Lantern, that looks cool. Swamp Thing obviously is cool. Booster Gold, that one looks cool. The other ones I don't really know too much about. Supergirl could be good. I don't know. All right, let me know what you think.